Good afternoon. I'm Nancy from FancyNancyStamps.com, and I welcome you to my studio today. I am so anxious to share with you a new stamp set. I just opened it today for the first time, and it's the Pretty Pumpkin set that has a wonderful die set that goes with it. And we're going to play with that a little bit. I want to welcome you. I want to remind everyone that I had my drawing for Summer Shenanigans on Tuesday. I did. And Christine Savage won the $50 gift certificate, and Melanie Nelson won the month of September, and she won a stamping kit, and I'm anxious to deliver it to her just to see what she thinks. So we're going to get right to it today. We're going to get right to our Pretty Pumpkins, and at the end I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my online club and just invite you to that as well. So come with me, and we're going to just have our own little Pretty Pumpkins adventure. Okay, so today we are using, for the most part, the Pretty Pumpkin set. I am going to use one sentiment from Nature's Harvest. You know I can't leave that one alone. I just love it so much. So we'll be coming up with that one too. I chose today to just use my favorite fall colors. So as my card base, I am using Old Olive. It's been with Stampin' Up! As long as I've been with Stampin' Up!, and that's 15 years, so it's been around, but I love this color. This card base is 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score it at the center and fold it, and that will give us a great base. I remembered my bone folder today, so we're on the right track on that one. So I like a nice crisp fold, so we're ready to go. I also cut a couple of different colors that I thought would be fun here. I am going to use, my next color is going to be that pale papaya, and I wanted a little bit bigger border this time because of the greenery on the pumpkins, and I just wanted to capture that color. So my pale papaya is 5 by 3 3/4. So let's go ahead and add that to our card base. I mentioned, I think, on Tuesday that my adhesive that I love so much, I've allowed myself to run out, and I'm waiting for my order, so please forgive me for not using the very best Stampin' Seal. It's just the best. So I'm just going to lay this down, wanting about 1/4 inch all the way around. Okay, but I only wanted 1/8 inch between that and my pumpkin pie, because I want that light color to make the pumpkin pie pop, but that's all I needed. So let's add that. It's a very rare day when I'm not using the embossing folder to add even more texture, but today we're going to let the pumpkin still show. So that's how I've planned this card. There we go. So that's our base, and I'm going to set that aside, and I am going to pull out my Scalloped Rectangle. It's a scallop stitched rectangle, and it came from the Contours dies. And oh my gosh, everybody's in love with this. And this is the number 3 rectangle. So let's start with that, and I'm going to put my sentiment on first, which is, if friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you, and I'm going to use my Old Olive for my sentiment. Again, I want to pick up that green card base. So let's just add this. I want to leave a little space at the bottom because I've got some vines that I'm going to add there. So here we go. We've got it. And we're set, and really that's what I need that for. And then we're going to stamp some of our great images from the stamp set. I have the pumpkins, and then some of the vines. And what's really cool about the vines, and you hardly ever see this when we get card sets, and that is the fact that they actually have the blooms from those gourds, and so it really is beautiful. Those of us that live in farm country, we really like seeing all those parts. So there you have it. I live in the country. I live about 8 miles, maybe more. It takes 20 minutes to get into Spokane, Washington, and but I live just outside of Spokane Valley, which is a suburb of Spokane, and I live on 10 acres, so you know the possibility of gardening is big. I don't have a garden. My husband farmed for 20 years. He was a wheat rancher, but today we're semi-retired and we don't have that garden because we travel too much. Okay, and I'm going to add these 2 vines that I told you about. We'll put this one up here. And I hope I said to you, we have dies that are going to cut these out, so that makes it even better. I love that. So we're going to take a minute, we're going to color up. See, I picked these colors. I have my old olive, I have pumpkin pie, I have pale papaya, and I grabbed the dark soft suede for my stems. So I'm going to start with my stems if I can here. And I'm going to kind of talk as I go through it. It's really hard sometimes to stay, you know, tidy and not take up too much time, but at the same time I want to talk through my coloring as well. I'm using the Stampin' Blends pens. They're sold in groups of 2, a light and a dark, which allows us to blend when we want to blend, and that makes it really fun. And in this case, at least on my stems and on my vines, I'm not going to do a lot of blending. So I am just going to try to stay as steady as I can. I don't feel real steady today. You know how that is. We all have days like that. I'd like to say it was too much coffee, but you know what? I didn't even have coffee today. And that's really amazing for me to say that. I love those little curlicues, but they are a challenge. So here. Alrighty, got that. So next I'm going to take on, I think, the leaves. And I want to tell you, I see this as a one of those flowers, so I'm not going to color that. The leaves are going to be these ones that are pretty defined. And I'm going to go there, and I'm always start with my lightest color. And we'll blend from there. And I'll talk that through, but the way I've been taught is to start coloring your lightest color first, and I use my whitest brush because I'm not looking to do detail. I can fill that in towards the end if I need it. I'll take a look at it. But these are alcohol ink pens, and as they dry, they do move a little bit, so you don't have to go all the way to the edge because they spread just all on their own, which is pretty wonderful. So I'm just going to show you that that's kind of what I do. And we'll just get all through here. Don't you think these pumpkins are cute? I hope you like them as much as I do. Typically, when I have things that are close to each other, I will start with my lightest colors first, in which case that would have been papaya. But I have my greatest detail with these darn leaves, so I decided to do those and get them done. Then I could work around them. So that's why I'm making my decision to go this way first. Okay, let's take a look. Have I got them? I think I do. Okay, so now I'm going to go right to my dark darker green, and I'm going to use a finer point because I want to kind of follow the cheater lines, if you will, that are given to us by our image itself, the rubber stamp image. But I want to make it look as realistic as possible. You know, they're the vein lines here. And I just want to enjoy them. So I don't want to, I'm going to kind of give more dark around that flower. Trying to make it look as natural as I can. I'm not sure I like what I just did, but we'll be playing with it because I'm going to bring my light color back in just a minute to do some blending, and we'll just go from there. The fun thing is you can play with these inks for quite a bit of time to get them the way you want them. And I'm going to tell you, I used to marvel at when we would do maps in grade school and people with their coloring and how they would do their maps. I was always so jealous at their talent, which I didn't have. So I'm trying to teach myself now. You know, we all need to learn something, so here we go. So now I'm going to start right from the center of the leaf. And I went back to my light, and I'm going to brush out. I'm going to try to pull that dark color into the leaf itself. But I'm not going to go all the way to the edge, just like I said. I'm going to just blend because it will move on its own. So that being said, you kind of just know what my plan is here. Pull the dark to the light. Just always remember that, dark to the light. And try to, you know, give a natural look. I'm getting happy. This one still needs a little more work. There we go. I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to move on to the Gourd Flowers, which I told you I was going to use my pale papaya. Make sure my pale papaya and my pumpkin can look awfully close. So I need to make sure I've got them in the right place. I have to pick that one up. So again, I'll start with my light. And I'm going to use my painting end, which is the whitest flower. And I'll just go for this, and then I'll come back with my dark after I pick it up off the floor. This is fun. I hope you all like coloring and think this is. I will tell you there when I was looking at these dyes. These dyes are so beautiful in that they have some that are more open. You can capture different looks. All right, I'm going pen diving. Here we are. For many of you who have watched some of these videos, you know that I have been struggling with my internet, so I moved upstairs into my living space and out of my studio to do these videos, which is awkward. Bringing everything up, taking everything down. I've got lights, I've got cameras, but you know, it has worked better, and until I get a different provider for my internet, well, this is what we're going to do. But it isn't as handy, just to say it, it's just not as handy as the other room. Okay, so I'm going to blend, and I want to get that brush tip again, sorry. So we fill it all in. And remember, always pulling the dark to the light to get that look that we want. Aren't you loving this? It's so pretty. And all we've got left now is our pumpkins. And we'll start with our light again. And we'll start with the brush like before. We're just going to add color, knowing that we're going to pull dark in here shortly. Remember what I said, you don't have to go all the way to the edge. Just have to evenly apply a little color. And then we'll just go from there. How many of you have your pumpkins already for Halloween? I kind of try never to get them before the 1st of October because we still have nice warm days in Spokane. Despite the fact that we're, only 60 miles south of the Canadian border, we still have beautiful 75, almost 80-degree days in the fall. In fact, we're looking at a weekend that's scheduled to be like that. We start our football season seriously, just wearing shorts and sleeveless tops, but by the end, boy, we got coats on. So we're going to do what we've been doing all along, which is use our cheater lines. I add a little extra at the base. And on my edges, just to give it some interest. And we'll just kind of keep going. Same thing over here. Okay, and then we'll go back and we'll finish it with that, pulling the dark to the light. So same thing, just bring it in. Be gentle around your other colors because it moves. That's the most important thing I can tell you is alcohol inks move and they dry. It takes about 5 minutes before they've dried, but they dry very quickly. But in that whole process, as time goes on, these colors even change. So there we go. Last little pumpkin, and we've got her. Now, I have, I thought I brought them up here. I've got to look here. I do have dies to cut these. But of course, I did not bring them upstairs. But worry not, because I've already done a set and cut them. But I just want you to have the idea that we aren't going to fussy cut these. We're going to die cut them. And this is what they look like after they were die cut. So here we have it. We have our set. And they're looking pretty, right? So now we're going to add them to our cute little scalloped rectangle. And in my head, I've kind of pictured that I was going to put that underneath. And I really want to just put this kind of behind and lift up. I think I've got to just make sure I get this the way I want it. I'm going to put this on dimensionals. So let's add those. Make sure I've got this the way I want it. Yep. So we'll lay that down right about there. So we'll put a little tape on the back. Just add that. So we can put a little tape here and add it to the bottom. I want to add this to the front also with dimensionals before do you like it? It's going to be cool. Not done with it yet. So let's just add that. I have to tell you, you people watching these videos have brought my cards back to life again. I so look forward to putting things together. it's just been great. So thank you for being there. Thank you for watching, and thank you for commenting, because you really make my day. Okay, so we're going to add this. Press. And we're going to add this one too. And then I'm going to do a little action on the inside. So let's take a look at that. I'm trying to decide what I know I'm going to put the orange, and I'm going to put the white on the orange. I think I'm just going to stamp that right there. And just in case I haven't told you, this is black memento ink, and it's great for setting the background for when you're going to use those alcohol markers. So, just going to do that. Just kind of want it to go off the edge, just for interest. And I'm going to add the saying that says, a reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. Doing it in green. That is to, and this is what I told you is from the Harvest, Nature's Harvest set, because I love it so much. There we go. And let's just quickly add this little bit. Oh, you guys, we're doing great. We're almost there. This fine little curly cue, so I'm going to have to use my skinny side, and as long as I got the skinny side, I'll just keep going. Get that green leaf going. So, let's see what else I should tell you. We have pumpkins. It's almost time for them to come out. It's fair season. We have a darling little fair that's close to a little county fair, which we canceled this year due to COVID. We did have our interstate fair. I think there was a lot of controversy over that with regard to sickness and whether or not we should be doing it. I stayed home because I'm anticipating a medical procedure, and I just didn't want to have anything that got in the way, you know, like an exposure to COVID or something. So I didn't go this year, which is kind of sad. But still, you know, it's fun to see things happening. Okay, we're ready for our last little pumpkins, and I think we've got this whipped, you guys. We are doing well. Again, I'm just painting it not all the way to the edge. Can't emphasize that enough. Just not necessary. Where I have edges, let's try to go the opposite direction. These pens are so forgiving that you don't have to worry about direction that you're painting. Just gently apply it. Okay, let's add a little bit of our detail. It's also soccer season in Spokane. My little grandson plays soccer and he loves it, and I'm hoping to get a game in this weekend because I haven't seen him play yet this fall. There's nothing like a little soccer. He loves it. There we go. We're almost there, guys. Get ready. Hoping. let's blend. Blend, blend, blend. There we go. I think we've got it. Now let's put that on this orange, which is pumpkin pie. I call it orange, but it's pumpkin pie. And I love it that it's right, goes right to the outside of this. Add that. I cut this again. The pumpkin pie is cut at 3 3/4 by 5, and the white piece that fits inside is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So we'll add that to the inside of this card. I don't know about you, I still think there's room for a little bling. What do you think? I pulled these out thinking, this would be fun. These are the sequins that go with the artistic blooms. They're so pretty. And I love it that there's little ones so that I can add these without there we go. I think we did it, by George. So here is our card. It says, if friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you. An opening inside. Reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and to others. So I hope you enjoyed that. Alrighty, so I want to talk just a minute because I'm always promoting it because it's one of my most fun things. For those of you who watch and don't live close to me, I do something called an online card club. My online card club ships once a month. It's a subscription service. You subscribe, and your subscription is good until you stop it. It's just the way it works. It is a $36 cost a month, and for that money, you receive about $20 worth of product. Also, the makings for 8 cards, 2 each of 4 different designs. I provide everything cut to the correct dimensions. I provide your embellishments, unless, of course, they've come in your product. So things like sequins, like what I used today, those are often part of the product that you receive because they're too hard to separate and preserve them and make sure they get there in a good way, because I want everything that you receive to be first class. You get a PDF of directions. And the most important thing I would like to tell you is I don't expect anyone who doesn't know me and who hasn't experienced my cards to just order that. So I want to offer you your first month free. And after that, you're billed on your anniversary of your sign up. The card kit usually goes out on the 4th Friday of the month. I kind of snickered there because we're waiting for a stamp set that's been back ordered, and that's kind of slowed everything down. And that brings up yet another point. I don't package the stamp set with it because you might already have that stamp set, and I don't want to, create a situation where you wouldn't want the kit because you don't need that stamp set. So if you want the stamp set, you simply let me know. I send an opportunity for you to RSVP yes or no, and then I send you a separate PayPal button that allows you to order it. I pay the shipping and the tax on those items that are add-ons like that. I want to make sure that you get a full value if you're a club member with me. So that is something that I do. I'd love to have you join me. We have a lot of fun. I think that the cards there's a great variety. They're not always the same. I will be demonstrating some cards so that you will see what's coming in the kit, and you will see that beginning at the 1st of the month. My cutoff for to register is the 2nd Wednesday of the month. So I will keep you posted on that, and we'll go from there. What else do I have to tell you? I think that's it. That's our fun for today, and I want you to continue to join me. I am online at 4 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I usually take the tape of this Facebook Live, and I will put it on YouTube as well. And I hope you'll continue to join me. Leave me a note. Give me feedback, what I can do to make this experience for you even better. And I look forward to talking to you as we go through. Happy stamping, and we'll see you, what's today? Today is Thursday, isn't it? I'll see you next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. See you then.